les saluda Melissa y Edgardo, parte del equipo de Metal World United para Latinoamérica, para todos ustedes desde Nueva York y Ecuador.
Así es, para nosotros es un honor tener presente el día de hoy a una de las más remarcables figuras de la historia del metal, desde una de las más grandes civilizaciones, desde Grecia, Cristo Antonius, guitarra y uno de los compositores de SEPTICFLESH. Cristo compone toda la música orquestal para ellos, quienes el pasado 20 de este mes lanzaron Mother Primitive vía Nuclear Blast.
Entonces, claro que sí, y a 30 años de existencia, SEPTICFLESH ha logrado deleitar al público del death metal sinfónico. Desde su primer lanzamiento del demo Forgotten Path, el quinteto griego ha publicado nada más y nada menos que 10 álbumes de estudio completos, un buen par de EPs, un manojo de demos, álbumes en directo y algún que otro compilado. Se separaron brevemente en el 2003, pero este descanso solo duró 4 años en total, considerando que es menos tiempo del que tardaron en materializar su 11º álbum desde el Codex Omega allá por el 2017. Pero ahora, señoras y señores, nada más y nada menos, en este 2022 tenemos a la vista Mother Primitive.
SEPTICFLESH sigue contando con un trío en sus filas, el trío que ha formado parte esencial de la banda desde sus inicios. El bajista y growler Spyros Antonio, hermano del guitarrista y experto en instrumentación Cristo Antonio, así como el guitarrista y vocalista Sotiris Anunnaki 5. Estos son los 3 grandes pilares que permanecen en la banda. A ellos se le une a la batería Kerim Krim Echner, que lleva 8 años en el grupo, así como el único y recién llegado Psycho, que se unió a las filas en este año.
Y absolutamente, Christos Antonio estudió composición en el London College of Music bajo la dirección de Martin Ellerby, jefe del departamento de composición. Obtuvo la licenciatura en música en 1999 y un año después continuó sus estudios de composición, orquestación y obtuvo un máster en música de concierto. Entre sus tutores se encuentra Adam Ward, jefe de composición del Royal Northern College of Music. Así que, Metalheads, sin más preámbulos, le traemos gracias a Nuclear Blast y SEPTICFLESH esta brillante entrevista. Que la disfruten. Christos, thank you very much for your time. I truly appreciate the time that you spent to be with us. So I'm just going to start with the questions, and we later will be recording any other thing that we have. So one more time, thank you for everything. And we'll start with the interview with the following, and it's that we would like to know how everything started with SEPTICFLESH and how you guys met up and how this adventure started.
Yes, we started the band, me and my brother, beginning of the 90s. We had a rehearsal studio in our basement in Athens. And we were searching for a guitarist in order to play, like death metal during the time. And someone told us that there is a guitarist from Patras that he studies in Athens, and he would be interested to join the band. We met Sotiris. Immediately, we had very good chemistry, and we formed the band, SEPTICFLESH. I would say that the first period, that is from the beginning of 90s till 2002, is, I would say that we were a studio band, not a band that was performing tours or shows. we made a few shows. And the second period, and the most important period, starts with the release of Communion. It's where we made the comeback. We were under a serious label like Seasonal Mist. Then we made a lot of tours. We made the correct decision. We start to have management, agents. We tour a lot with big bands. We also perform with an orchestra, live orchestra in Mexico City. Now we are under Nuclear Blast, and we are stronger than ever now.
Absolutely, I can tell. So, as you started, and you're coming from a very underground but strong scene, I would like to know, like, how can you describe the evolution of the Greek metal scene since you started it with it, and how was that built up from your perspective?
Well, to be honest, not many bands made an impact outside Greece. Although during that time many great bands were formed, like Necromandia, Rotting Christ, Varathron, etc. Few bands managed to make an impact outside Greece, as I said. I will say that it's getting better now, but if you are talking about numbers, it's not in favor of the Greek scene, because we are talking about 20 years and 2-3 bands only are well known outside Greece. Now it's getting better. Bands start to sign to bigger labels. But time will tell if will be an evolution, a second, I would say, evolution of the Greek scene.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that, especially with young guys that are really like coming up with very good old school sounds, but very especially in the black metal part and death metal. So continuing with this and your evolution in all this path that you take and that you decided to get into when you and your brother decided to make this Septic Flesh. We would like to know, like, what would you define as the riskiest situation Septic Flesh has gone through to stay in the industry?
The risky.
Yes, like what was the riskiest, like the most risky situation that you guys had to confront to be now what you are now? Because I know, and especially after 2003 and all this time frame that you had to lay down and have a break. Like, how would you describe it? Like,
I will say that we didn't face a lot of risks because during the first period we were doing other things on top of the band. I was studying classical music, my brother fine arts, and in a way we built a very strong, I would say, we didn't have something to lose in a way, because I work also as a composer. My brother does covers, and we have decided that the best moment to come back was 2008. And of course, music is very, very demanding art. And the majority of the people want to be musicians, But I would say that even now we are doing and other stuff parallel with SEPTICFLESH, although SEPTICFLESH is a full-time job. But we were doing things really organized and really with not big percentage of risk, you know.
Okay.
And this is the most important. Of course, when you tour, when you are in a band, you need to be focused. You need people to be really dedicated. You need dedication to this. But if you do things correct, organized, and you have a vision, you will manage to move forward always.
Absolutely. And like the proofs are right there in front of us. So after those like fantastic 6 albums released, you split up as we spoke in 2003, but then returned in 2008 and released the masterpiece Communion. And like I know that we've been researching, as you're a composer, you have many other compositions, and also you work with, like, you were graduated in London, if I'm not mistaken, and like you were also working with the Philharmonic of Praga. How, like, when you decided to get into the participation with the Praga Symphony Orchestra, like, what did you expected about the public and the media when everything show up and you released it? What was you said? What you expected? Like,
Well,
how you saw the response of the public?
To be honest, I didn't expect something. We were doing this because we followed our heart, you know. And first of all, we had the luxury to use for the first time orchestra, and that means we had the budget to do it with Season of Mist. Of course, I made a lot of research on internet, and I have chosen the Philharmonic Orchestra of Prague because they are doing that many years. They are very experienced, and since then we worked always together. It's a collaboration that lasts, that is still going on, and it's like 15 years. But we saw that the feedback and the response from the listeners, from the press, was really positive. And of course, this made us even stronger in order to create more albums, etc. But we took it easy, We said we were more mature. We said we will record the album and see how it goes. Of course, we didn't expect to have how to say, so big hype Communion, but as I said, you need to have the vision. You need to have the identity and the vision to make your music to stand.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the path that you always carry, it was like defining us like a style, like musically speaking, defining a style that it has been like something that has empowered and like a lot of bands as well. So I would like to talk about any funny memories that you may have about your live performance. Like, what funny memory can you please tell us about your tours with SEPTICFLESH?
I don't have something that will sound peculiar or extravagant. Things or tour happens, like to everyone. I will say that we face sometimes some difficulties, but funny times. I cannot remember something that was really, really, that will impress you in a way.
I get it. So I have a question as well, and it's about you as a special guest in the Sanctus Diabolus with Sakis, Temis, and Andreas for Rotting Christ. Like, I would like to know how was it working with them as a special guest?
You mean I orchestrate the choirs? Yes,
Correct.
I was talking with Sakis. With Sakis, we are very good friends. But Sakis is in charge for everything there, you know. We are good friends. He told me to if I can arrange some of the choirs. I knew some choral ensembles, and was great, you know, great moments. But Themis, I know Themis also in Andreas, but I didn't have so much to say on that.
Okay, understandable. So I have like we were talking the other day before, and this question came up to our minds, and it's about your latest album, Modern Primitive. And we would like to know what's Modern Primitive for you, like not only in terms of the album, but speaking about like the ideology of the oppositions the opposition of the mainstream society.
Well, modern primitive, I would say, fits really well to the situation that we face at the moment. Because, you know, although many years have passed since the evolution of our species, we carry deep inside a catastrophic and very primitive element that could result in our downfall. Society is in crisis, humanity is in crisis. We saw that with the pandemic. We can see now with the war in Europe. Things that you couldn't imagine that could happen can happen. You know, we live in a society that everything, the truth is a lie, and the lie is the truth. Society suffers. You know, we care more about likes and followers. And if something happens to you, none of them will help you or come to visit you in a way. But you know, it's how it is. I believe that humanity is capable of doing marvelous things, but at the moment are doing the opposite. It's doing the opposite.
Do you think by any chance that like because I read about it a lot and I was always thinking about it and I want like aside from all the questions that we have, I would like to know from yourself, do you think that all kind of big societies at one point, like as it was like Romance or any other big society, they get to a point of evolution that becomes destruction and becomes like, especially with consumption nowadays, people consume a lot but they are not aware of situations. Do you think that, like, believe it or not, we are like at the end of our own like destruction?
Well, we are not far, I would say. It's we are more near than before for sure. Um, you know, as I said, as example, if you were telling me that in 2022 we will have war in Europe and we might face a situation with nuclear weapons, I would laugh. But you know, it's, we are not far from this scenario, no? And society, humanity needs to reboot and to to return in our values things that will make us better, not to make us better for today, but we need past, present, and future. And I'm not optimistic about this. I don't know what will happen in autumn. I don't know what will happen in the winter of 2023. Things are really in bad shape, for sure. Where are you from? You are from Venezuela, isn't it?
Well, no. Like my friends, we are a couple of friends. I'm from Dominican Republic. I right now live in New York, and my friend is from Ecuador. But we also have some of our friends that they are from Venezuela, and they had to migrate because all the struggles that we are just facing.
Because I saw that Venezuela is the country of your website.
Exactly. Yes, it is. It's the main side. Absolutely. That's where everything started.
We would like to perform one day there, but I don't think it's so easy to perform in Venezuela.
Well, right now with all these political situations, like it is possible. I don't say it's not possible, but it's yes, a little complicated. A little complicated. It's way much better if people can travel to Colombia to see you guys or like even Ecuador. But facing the fact that Venezuela is still struggling, it's a little complicated for sure.
Sure.
Absolutely. So moving forward, I have my friend here, Edgardo. He also has a few questions. Edgardo?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Christos, for your time. I want you guys describe the graphic concept of the modern primitive.
Yes, the cover describes in a way an oxymoron, that although we are in a modern era, we have also the primitivism that can be focused on the cover. And Seth, who is responsible of the visualization of the band, he had many talks with Sotiris, who writes the lyrics, in order to present in the cover the message of modern primitive. In a way, the complexity shows the saturation that our society has been through, and the catastrophic element that is really evident in nowadays.
Like it's absolutely, especially because of the cranes and the corpses. It's like all the degradation of the self of humans.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I get it. Absolutely. Edgardo, you have a next question? ¿Tienes tu siguiente pregunta?
Will you please explain the context of the single Year Rothen on super production that was Blood, My Mind?
Yes. Hierophant is in ancient Greece was a messenger of God, and he tries to manipulate. You listen?
Yes.
You listen?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. He tries to manipulate his believers in order to have them under his control. He he says that he can listen the voice of God, but he can't, and he tries to create his his philosophy underlies in order again to control them. Also has also the song has many elements from the tarot cards.
Exactly.
Yes, and connects with the self-eater, which is in a way salvation. The result is the salvation, which it's the main song behind the main idea behind the Hierophant and the self-eater.
Well, absolutely. That's absolutely incredible. I felt very connected, especially like with this high priest scene that can also hide, like dogma. How dogma can also hide from
Yes.
the true part of the self. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. So I have a few more questions, just three more questions.
Yes. No problem.
Like, okay, perfect. So, as a classical composer as you are, like recognized not only because of your work on SEPTICFLESH, but because you have also composed classical pieces. Like I was searching for Phospheratus, for example, or Ramdon keeps an eye on model guide, like we would like to know, like, could you please tell us like how the songs in SEPTICFLESH are created?
How the songs are created? You mean my concert?
Composition. Yeah, your concepts.
My concert works.
Exactly.
Yes, my concert works in totally different from the I will say the philosophy of composition of SEPTICFLESH. We are talking about a more avant-garde, I will say, more modern music that I have studied in England. Although I don't have a lot of time due to SEPTICFLESH, I try always to compose some of my concert works. I have done also some works that have been performed in Russia, in Athens, but it's totally different era. It's like I don't know if you know composers like Xenakis, like Penderecki. It's totally different. It's more, I would say, modern kind of music. There are some modern elements on SEPTICFLESH in terms of orchestration, but I would not say that have anything that I will not say that my works resemble on anything to SEPTICFLESH. It's for, I would say, for few people that can understand and enjoy this kind of music.
Absolutely, I can understand it. And one thing, like if the war is about to end, well, like we are at the end of the world, and you need a playlist. We all need a playlist, and we would like to know, like, what will be your SEPTICFLESH playlist for the end of the world? We will title it as the Human Extinction Playlist. What songs would you put over there?
You mean from discography of SEPTICFLESH or from other?
Exactly. Like even from SEPTICFLESH, all the songs that you would like to get into, or any other songs that you may see as your favorites.
How many songs I have to say?
Like whatever you like, even 5, 10.
Yeah, I will say Igor Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, Immortal Rights from Morbid Angel, Human from Death, Megatherion, Celtic Frost, Batman, Hans Zimmer, Persepolis, SEPTICFLESH, Coming Storm, SEPTICFLESH, Metallica, Master of Puppets, Gothic, Paradise Lost, this kind of music playlist.
That would be an awesome playlist. I will start like after we finish the interview. I will just mix all the songs like, and I'm gonna make the playlist. I hope like I will put it just like recommendations for the end of the war. I will just put it like that. I swear. So for our last question, we would like to know now what's in SEPTICFLESH minds for the upcoming shows live in South America and Latin America. What are you planning, guys?
Well, we have in 3 weeks from now a major festival in Europe, Hellfest. We have a long tour, 6 weeks in Europe with Hypocrisy, The Agonist, and Horizon United. Then we might come in North America for a tour. For sure, we are going to have more festivals in 2023, and hopefully we will return in South America for a tour, for sure. It is in our plans. We have some talks with our agent in order to realize this tour.
Absolutely. I hope to see you soon in New York. Like, I'll be frontline. I'll be waiting for you guys. Absolutely. So this is the end of our questions. Chris, thank you very much for your time and your patience and everything, for giving us this minutes of your time to getting to know you more and answer all these questions, especially your perspectives about how society is built up and it's been changing, and it's been coming from chaos to chaos. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you for the invitation. It was a pleasure talking to you, and see you in Latin America.
Absolutely. See you there. Hails.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.